Hi guys, welcome back to GH Spoilers channel. Today, we will learn about the issue that's igniting fiery reactions across Port Charles as the intense custody battle over Wiley and Amelia reaches its breaking point. The courtroom showdown between Michael Corinthos and Willow Tate has already shaken the lives of everyone involved, but in a shocking turn of events. It's Carly Spencer who sets the final course for how this emotionally charged legal fight will end. With the help of tech genius Damian Spinelli, Carly exposes a devastating secret about Drew Kane that will forever change the fate of this case and the lives of everyone surrounding it. From the very beginning of this custody dispute, Carly was firmly in Michael's corner. She believed with unwavering certainty that Michael was the most capable and compassionate parent to raise Wiley and Amelia. As Michael's mother, Carly knew better than anyone the strength of his character and his deep devotion to his children. She had witnessed firsthand the sacrifices he'd made, the love he'd given, and the steady presence he offered in their lives. In contrast, Carly saw Drew and Willow's chaotic and emotionally inconsistent relationship as a dangerous foundation for raising two young children. Despite her strong convictions, Carly knew that the legal system would require more than character testimony and personal opinion. She needed undeniable proof that Drew was unfit to be a parental figure in Wiley and Amelia's lives. Determined to tip the scales in Michael's favor, Carly turned to someone she knew could deliver results: her longtime friend and the brilliant hacker, Spinelli. Carly met with Spinelli privately, explaining that she needed his help uncovering anything that might reveal Drew's hidden flaws or weaknesses. Spinelli, though hesitant to break into anyone's private home system, trusted Carly's judgment. He agreed to assist her, not for revenge or malice, but to help ensure that the children would be raised in a safe and loving environment. He knew that the courts often favored stability, and if Drew had something to hide, now was the time to find it. Using his elite technical skills, Spinelli remotely accessed the security camera system installed at Drew's residence. He combed through countless hours of footage, looking for anything that might raise a red flag. At first, it seemed like a fruitless effort, tracking scenes of Drew and Willow, conversations with the nanny, and daily household activities. But then, buried deep in the footage, Spinelli uncovered a shocking moment that took his breath away. In one video, dated just a few weeks prior, Scout Drew's daughter was seen speaking with her father. The conversation was inaudible, but the body language quickly turned tense. Scout appeared to be defiant, perhaps disagreeing or pushing back against something Drew said. Suddenly, and without warning, Drew raised his hand and slapped Scout across the face. The sound was caught by the camera's microphone, the impact clear. Scout flinched and recoiled, tears immediately welling up in her eyes. Drew, in a fit of frustration, shouted at her, then walked away, leaving the young girl sobbing alone in the living room. Spinelli, horrified by what he had seen, immediately called Carly. He explained the situation, the context, and the fact that while it might technically fall into the gray area of parental discipline, the optics were damning. Carly knew this was exactly the evidence they needed. She downloaded the clip, preserving its timestamp and security details to ensure it could be admitted into court as evidence. As the next court session opened, tensions were already running high. Michael's legal team was prepared for a heated day of testimony, and Willow's lawyers had planned to portray Drew as a nurturing, responsible father figure. The judge had been patiently reviewing both sides, but it was clear that he remained undecided, caught between two parents who each claimed to act in the best interest of the children. That's when Carly, sitting beside Michael in the courtroom, stood and requested permission to present new evidence. The judge, slightly surprised but intrigued, allowed it. With the courtroom projector switched on, the video began to play. Silence fell over the room as the scene unfolded. Drew yelling, the sudden slap, and Scout's devastated reaction. Audible gasps echoed throughout the gallery. Willow covered her mouth in disbelief, tears immediately forming in her eyes. Michael remained stoic, his expression unreadable, while Carly kept her gaze fixed forward. The judge paused the video halfway through and asked for confirmation of its source. Carly stated clearly that the footage came from Drew's own in-home security system, accessed through lawful digital means. Drew's lawyer attempted to object, but the damage had already been done. The judge allowed the clip to finish, noting that while parenting is often difficult and discipline varies between households, the emotional trauma evident in Scout's reaction could not be ignored. Drew stood, red-faced and visibly enraged. He attempted to explain himself, insisting that it was a moment of stress, that he had never hurt Scout before or since, and that he had immediately apologized. But his words felt hollow. The room had already turned against him. Scout's pain was too real, too raw, and now undeniably public. The judge requested a recess to review the implications of the new evidence. When the session resumed, his tone was firmer, more resolute. He addressed the courtroom directly, stating that while discipline is a private matter, the use of force on a child in such a manner, and captured so clearly on video, was deeply concerning. He acknowledged that this incident, coupled with Drew's increasingly erratic behavior and emotional instability during this custody battle, raised serious questions about his fitness as a guardian. The final ruling was then delivered. Michael Corinthos would be awarded full physical and legal custody of both Wiley and Amelia. Drew and Willow would receive supervised visitation, pending further review. The decision was met with mixed reactions for life and vindication for Michael, devastation for Willow, and fury for Drew. Drew immediately turned his rage on Carly and Spinelli. He accused them of violating his privacy, of manipulating the system to humiliate him in court, and swore that he would seek justice. He vowed to sue both Carly and Spinelli for unlawful surveillance, threatening to press criminal charges and take the matter to the highest level of legal authority. But Carly stood her ground. She calmly reminded Drew that he had invited this scrutiny by claiming he was a perfect father, by stepping into the courtroom and pretending to be something he was not. Spinelli, though unnerved by Drew's threats, remained composed. He reiterated that his involvement was solely to protect the children and provide evidence that could help the court make an informed decision. He was prepared to defend himself legally if needed, but more importantly, he believed the ends justified the means. Wiley and Amelia would now be raised in a safe, stable environment free from emotional volatility and physical aggression. Willow, heartbroken by the verdict and shaken by what she witnessed, retreated into herself. Her faith in Drew had been shattered. She realized now how blind she had been, how willing she was to ignore red flags simply because she didn't want to be alone. The betrayal cut deep, and though she had not been the one to strike Scout, she bore the weight of having defended Drew, even against Michael's warnings. Michael, though emotionally drained by the ordeal, held Wiley and Amelia close that evening, telling them that they were finally home for good. Carly stayed by his side, helping the children settle back into the Corinthos household, promising them that the chaos was over and that they would be safe. As Drew left the courthouse that day, he was no longer the respected businessman and father figure he once claimed to be. He had become a cautionary tally of pride, anger, and the dangers of hiding behind an image that doesn't reflect the truth. Next, we will unravel the enigmatic web of secrets surrounding Emma Scorpio Drake and her persistent pursuit of Professor Henry Hank Dalton in the latest General Hospital storylines. As whispers of espionage and hidden agendas swirl through Port Charles, questions arise about Emma's true motive. Could she be entangled with the nefarious DVX? Or is there another layer to her actions? We'll explore every shadowy corner of this plot, from Jocelyn Jack's covert mission to Anna Devane's protective instincts, while weaving in fresh details and inventive twists. Join us as we delve into the heart of this mystery, uncovering the stakes of Dalton's rumored tech and the dangerous games being played in the name of power. Let's kick things off with Emma Scorpio Drake, whose fixation on Professor Henry Dalton has sparked curiosity and suspicion among Port Charles residents. On the surface, her interest might seem tied to a noble cause, perhaps echoing Jocelyn Jack's vocal stance against animal cruelty and lab testing. Yet, beneath this veneer, there's a palpable sense of something more sinister at play. Emma's determination to ingratiate herself with the questionable professor hints at motives far beyond a simple concern for furry friends. Could she be operating under a hidden directive, possibly as an operative for the DVX, a notorious espionage organization with a dark history in Port Charles? Imagine Emma, poised and calculating, attending university lectures by day while clandestinely gathering intel by night, her every smile a carefully crafted mask hiding her true purpose. This possibility adds a thrilling edge to her character, transforming her from a concerned student into a potential player in a high-stakes game of international intrigue, where loyalties are as murky as the waters of the Port Charles harbor. Meanwhile, Jocelyn Jax finds herself on a parallel path, though her mission with the WSB World Security Bureau is shrouded in secrecy and distinctly unrelated to animal welfare. Tasked with uncovering the nature of Dalton's mysterious work at his university lab, Jocelyn is a determined agent in her own right, ready to report her findings to either Jack Brennan or Vaughn, her WSB contacts. Unbeknownst to her, Brennan's interest in Dalton's project, rumored to be cutting-edge human cloning technology, carries deeper, more personal implications. Jocelyn's investigation has already led her to glimpses of Dalton's presence at the General Hospital lab, raising questions about the overlap between academic research and medical experimentation. Picture Jocelyn sneaking through dimly lit corridors, her heart pounding as she pieces together cryptic notes and overheard conversations, unaware of the true scale of what she's stumbled upon. Her commitment to justice means she'd undoubtedly blow the whistle on any animal abuse she encounters. But her primary goal remains locked on deciphering Dalton's enigmatic tech, a pursuit that could place her directly in the crosshairs of powerful forces. The dynamic between Jocelyn and Emma adds another layer of tension to this unfolding drama, as their fleeting truce quickly dissolved into mutual wariness. Despite their differences, Emma has little reason to doubt Jocelyn's sincerity about reporting animal cruelty, a promise made with unwavering conviction. Yet, Emma's actions suggest she's playing a different game, one where trust is a luxury she can't afford. Her brazen flirtation with Dalton at the Metro Court pool, clad in a daring bikini and exuding a calculated charm, raises eyebrows, especially since it occurred after her grandmother, Anna Devane, had already confronted the professor. Visualize the scene, Emma's laughter ringing out over the water, her gaze locked with Dalton's in a dance of seduction and subterfuge, while sunbathers nearby remain oblivious to the undercurrent of danger. This blatant display of interest in a man rumored to have lecherous tendencies hints at a strategy far beyond youthful rebellion. Perhaps Emma is leveraging her allure to gain access to restricted areas of Dalton's life, or even to extract classified information about his secretive projects. Anna Devane, ever the protective matriarch and seasoned spy, enters the fray with her own suspicions about Dalton, fueled by a fierce need to shield Emma from harm. Her investigation into the professor isn't just professional curiosity, it's deeply personal, driven by the unsettling coincidence of Dalton's move from Emma's university in California to her current one in Port Charles. Anna's instincts, honed by years of navigating espionage's treacherous waters, scream that something is amiss. She's also wary of Jack Brennan, having witnessed his past efforts to recruit young women for the WSB, and has sternly warned him to keep his distance from her granddaughter. Imagine Anna, her face etched with concern, observing Emma from afar at the university quad, her mind racing with memories of her own double agent days and the dangers they entailed. Unbeknownst to her, however, Anna hasn't considered a chilling alternative that Emma might already be ensnared in the spy world, not as a WSB asset, but as a covert operative for the DVX, the same ruthless organization tied to Anna's twin, Alex Devane, and a dark chapter of her own past. The specter of the DVX versus the WSB looms large over this storyline, with Dalton's rumored human cloning technology serving as the ultimate prize. Both agencies are likely salivating over the potential applications of such a breakthrough, though their intentions couldn't be more different. The WSB might envision a nobler purpose, such as perfecting organ donation through cloned tissues to save countless lives, a mission that could align with their often altruistic, if occasionally murky goals. In stark contrast, the DVX, known for their malevolent schemes, would undoubtedly weaponize this tech, perhaps creating armies of cloned assassins or using it for psychological warfare, much like their past manipulation of Ryan Chamberlain as a deadly enforcer. Picture clandestine meetings in shadowy backrooms, where DVX operatives plot to turn Dalton's science into a tool of chaos, while WSB agents scramble to secure it for humanitarian ends. Caught in the middle is Emma, whose supposed animal activism could merely be a smokescreen for her true objective: gaining Dalton's trust to access the innermost secrets of his lab, whether for personal gain or under orders from a sinister handler. Emma's overt interest in Dalton's work raises red flags that can't be ignored, far surpassing a simple concern for lab animals like abused puppies. Her persistence in cozying up to the professor, evidenced by her suggestive invitation to get together during their poolside encounter, suggests a calculated agenda. Could she be following a script laid out by DVX superiors, using her youth and charm as tools to infiltrate Dalton's inner circle? Envision late-night stakeouts where Emma, under the guise of a study session, probes Dalton for hints about his tech, her phone discreetly recording every word for transmission to an unknown contact. Her connection to Port Charles medical community through her family ties at General Hospital might also provide a convenient excuse to snoop around the GH lab where Dalton has been spotted, further blurring the lines between genuine concern and espionage. The stakes of her deception, if indeed she's playing such a role, could ripple through her relationships, potentially alienating loved ones like Rocco Falconeri, who might sense a troubling shift in Emma's demeanor during family gatherings. Adding to the intrigue, other Port Charles figures are poised to be drawn into this labyrinth of secrets surrounding Dalton's research. Consider how Rocco Falconeri, with his innocent curiosity and ties to the Spencer and Scorpio families, might unwittingly overhear a tense conversation between Emma and a mysterious stranger, sparking questions about her behavior that even a child can't ignore. Meanwhile, seasoned players like Valentin Casadini, with his own history of espionage, could catch wind of the DVX's interest in Dalton, positioning himself as either an ally or adversary in the race for the tech. The university setting itself becomes a battleground, with late-night lab break-ins and cryptic messages scrawled on blackboards, as various factions vie for control. Dalton himself, often portrayed as an eccentric academic, might harbor a darker city, a man aware of the vultures circling his invention, playing his own game of misdirection to protect his life's work from falling into the wrong hands. In wrapping up this captivating saga, the mystery of Emma Scorpio Drake's intentions and her relentless pursuit of Professor Henry Dalton stands as one of General Hospital's most gripping current arcs. Whether she's a concerned activist, a pawn in the DVX's deadly schemes, or something else entirely, her actions promise to reshape the landscape of Port Charles. Jocelyn's WSB mission, Anna's protective fervor, and the looming specter of human cloning technology elevate the stakes to a global scale, where every move could tip the balance between salvation and destruction. What do you think, GH fans? Is Emma truly working for the DVX, or does another secret drive her flirtation with danger? Could Dalton's tech redefine life as we know it in Port Charles? Next, we will dive into the tumultuous storm surrounding Willow Tate and Drew Kane, arguably the most despised couple currently stirring up drama in the fictional town of Port Charles. Their scandal-ridden journey has ignited fiery debates among fans, with emotions running high over their deceitful actions and questionable choices. In this expanded exploration, we'll unpack the reasons behind the intense backlash, delve into the raw sentiments shared across social media, and speculate on the rocky road ahead for this controversial pair. With added details and creative twists, we'll paint a vivid picture of their downfall while staying true to the core issues that have made them the talk of General Hospital. Let's jump into the chaos and see why Willow and Drew have become the lightning rod for viewer frustration. First, let's lay bare the crux of why Willow and Drew have plummeted to the bottom of Port Charles' popularity charts, earning the dubious honor of being the most hated couple in town. Their relationship, built on a foundation of lies, infidelity, and jaw-dropping scandals over the past several months, has left a bitter taste in the mouths of even the most forgiving fans. From secret trysts that shattered trust to manipulative maneuvers that hurt those closest to them, they've orchestrated their own public downfall with ruthless precision. Some longtime viewers have gone as far as comparing them to the iconic Luke and Lorethau, not for reasons of romance or adventure, but for the sheer magnitude of controversy they've unleashed. Imagine the whispers echoing through the halls of General Hospital as nurses and patients alike gossip about the latest betrayal, their once promising union now synonymous with chaos. It's a self-inflicted wound, as every poor decision seems to dig their grave deeper, alienating allies and turning public opinion against them in a town that thrives on drama but demands accountability. Zooming in on the specific grievances, much of the fan outrage centers on how Willow and Drew have mishandled their responsibilities, particularly when it comes to the children caught in their messy orbit. Their cavalier attitude toward family obligations has struck a raw nerve, with many feeling that their actions border on neglectful, prioritizing personal desires over the well-being of the young ones in their lives. Picture a tense scene at the Quartermain mansion, where concerned family members like Michael Corinthos overhear yet another heated argument between the couple, the welfare of Wiley and Amelia hanging in the balance as collateral damage. Social media has erupted with criticism, with one passionate viewer venting, "I guess I do hate them, but it's mainly because of how they're treating the children. I couldn't care less about their romance. This sentiment underscores a broader frustration not just with their pairing, but with the moral bankruptcy they've displayed in dragging innocent lives into their web of deceit, a choice that has tarnished their image beyond repair in the eyes of many. The disdain for Drew as an individual character adds another layer of complexity to the hatred directed at this couple, with fans expressing visceral dislike for his influence over Willow. Many see him as the catalyst for her worst decisions, a puppet master pulling strings to keep her entangled in a toxic cycle of bad choices. One critic on social media didn't mince words, stating, "I actually hate the character of Drew. If Willow is foolish enough to throw everything away for him, then so be it. I don't care. She's clueless, and I have no interest in watching them together." Visualize Drew, smug and unapologetic, striding through Port Charles with an air of entitlement, oblivious to the glares of townsfolk who've grown weary of his manipulations. His personnance, perhaps seen as flawed but redeemable, has morphed into something fans find irredeemable, a man whose charm masks a core of selfishness that drags Willow down with him, turning their storyline into one viewers would rather fast-forward through. Willow, too, hasn't escaped the wrath of the fanbase, with many pointing to her repeated failure to seize opportunities for redemption as a source of infuriation. Time and again, she's faced crossroads where the right path seemed clear, only to allow Drew's influence to sway her into deeper moral quicksand. A particularly scathing comment online captured this frustration: "I hate them with a burning, seething passion. Every single time Willow has a chance to do what's right, she lets Drew twist her thinking." Picture Willow at a quiet diner, staring into her coffee as she wrestles with guilt over her latest misstep, the weight of judgment from friends like Sasha Gilmore pressing down on her shoulders. Her inability to break free from Drew's orbit paints her as complicit in the eyes of many, a tragic figure whose potential for growth is squandered by loyalty to a man who seems to thrive on sabotage, leaving fans exasperated as they watch her spiral further into self-destructs. Yet, amidst the sea of negativity, there are glimmers of a different perspective. Those who, while loathing the pairing, acknowledge the undeniable soap opera flair that Willow and Drew bring to the screen. Their tumultuous relationship, for all its flaws, embodies the messy, over-the-top drama that defines the genre, offering a guilty pleasure even to their harshest critics. One fan remarked online, "While I despise this pairing, I'll admit it has that classic soapy vibe. I can't wait for the day Willow discovers Drew has been undermining her from the start, ever since he roped her into that charity spokesperson nonsense." Envision a future bombshell episode where Willow stumbles upon incriminating emails in Drew's office, revealing his long game of deception, her face a mask of betrayal as the pieces of his betrayal click into place. This anticipation of a dramatic reckoning keeps some viewers hooked, eager for the inevitable implosion that could either shatter the couple for good or force a painful but necessary reckoning in Port Charles. Looking ahead, the future for Willow and Drew appears fraught with even greater challenges as their actions ripple through the tight-knit community. Speculation abounds about potential storylines where their past sins catch up with them in devastating ways, perhaps a custody battle over the children, ignited by Michael Corinthos, who can no longer stand by as they jeopardize his family. Imagine tense courtroom scenes where Willow's tearful pleas for forgiveness clash with Drew's cold defiance, the judge's gavel poised to alter their lives forever. Meanwhile, other Port Charles players, like Nina Reeves, might seize the opportunity to exploit their vulnerability, weaving their own schemes to gain leverage in personal or business matters. The charity scandal mentioned by fans could unravel further, with investigative reporters descending on the town to expose Drew's shady dealings, painting Willow as either a naive accomplice or a willing participant in the eyes of the public. Every step forward seems destined to pull them deeper into controversy, testing whether their bond can withstand the mounting pressure or crumble under the weight of their own misdeeds. Adding an inventive twist, imagine a subplot where Rocco Falconeri, a young but perceptive member of the extended family, becomes an unexpected witness to Willow and Drew's latest fallout. His innocent questions about why Aunt Willow looks so sad could pierce through the adults' facades, forcing characters like Carly Spencer to confront the collateral damage of the couple's choices on the younger generation. Similarly, a chance encounter with Professor Henry Hank Dalton at a local event might introduce an outside perspective, or perhaps he offers unsolicited advice to Drew about the ethics of manipulation. drawing from his own academic insights, only to be rebuffed by Drew's arrogance. These interactions could serve as mirrors, reflecting the broader disdain of Port Charles and amplifying the isolation Willow and Drew face as their allies dwindle, painting a stark picture of a couple on the brink of losing everything. In conclusion, Willow Tate and Drew Kane stand as the most polarizing couple in General Hospital's current landscape, their journey marked by deception, poor judgment, and a relentless wave of fan backlash. From their callous handling of family responsibilities to Drew's toxic sway over Willow's decisions, they've earned their status as Port Charles' most hated through months of self-sabotage. Social media reflects a spectrum of disgust, indifference, and reluctant fascination with their soapy antics, while the future promises more turbulence as secrets unravel and consequences loom. What do you think, GH fans? Will Willow ever break free from Drew's influence, or are they doomed to crash and burn together? Could a shocking revelation about the charity scandal be their undoing? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and stay tuned to ABC General Hospital spoilers for every update on this divisive duo. Until next time, keep watching for the next explosive twist in the saga of Port Charles.